And are you doing a portion of your show from the rooftop, the parking garage rooftop here, to be involved in the eclipse? Is that your goal today?
We are.
Okay,
that is the
you've
plan.
got your glasses and
Brian's
everything?
brought his glasses from 2017.
Oh, you've got yours from 2017, too.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, wow.
Do they look
you
like
guys are
this?
amazing.
So so we're prepared. So we are all set up to be able to, at news, run upstairs, do at first segment, live, paint the picture of what we're seeing.
We've got to paint the picture of darkness.
Yeah, covering the eclipse on radio. Daunting task.
It is fascinating.
You're
It's
seeing
theater
right now.
of the mind. It's that we are here to tell the listener who can't be there what we are witnessing.
Yes.
Well,
And we
I'm
will
fascinated
do it.
by the whole day, and I've seen a lot of things. Here are the best places to view the eclipse. My thought is just be outside. I think if you're outside, you'll probably have a good opportunity.
It's going to be neat. We're getting 90% blockage here in Milwaukee, which is great. It's hopefully Vince and Eric get their 100% totality.
Yes.
Because that is completely different. Today will be nice, but I have FOMO. I'm not going to lie.
You had the experience
I did
already,
have
though,
the
so at least you
experience.
had it once.
Right.
You said an experience of a lifetime.
Other than the Grand Canyon, that's the most moving natural thing I've seen.
Very
Everything
interesting.
gets still and kind of quiet, too.
I know. I'm expecting
forward to that.
birds to not know what to do. Penguins are going to want dinner. Like, it's going to be strange.
Well, you heard the story about the bee clips? How there's Midwest beekeepers across the different states that are in the path of path of totality, that they're monitoring. It's BDAR, and they're monitoring the beehives to see how the bees react and what data they can get from that, because animals do weird things when there's
weird things happening.
When it's
Yeah, they
supposed to
think
be
it's
day
night.
and then it is night.
Right? A lot of zoos are paying attention to what all the animals are doing.
Well, we are out. Jessica and I will be back tomorrow. Kristen and Brian coming up next. Julie has the news right after this.
Another MVP has joined the roster at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Dr. Ryan Stefanchek. Board certified in sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation, Dr. Stefanchek specializes in non-operative treatment of the spine, chronic pain, all joints, all musculoskeletal problems, and more, emphasizing holistic care first, with a focus on diet, sleep, stress management, and social connections for a patient's well-being. At Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference.
Matt had just moved into his first apartment and needed furniture to fill it, but he didn't have a big credit line. So I told him about St. Vincent de Paul. There's always a nice selection of gently used furniture there, and sometimes you can find some really cool retro pieces. And the best part is, it's always super affordable. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores for first-time furniture buyers or anyone looking for great deals on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield and 23rd and Lincoln in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Some things are fine to buy from a vending machine, but despite what a certain national online company tells you, a car's not one of them.
Let's see. Cheese doodles, Mr. Nougat bar. Oh, here we go. Green 4-door hatchback. Honey, we're gonna need some more quarters.
Sure, they make it seem convenient, but it won't be so convenient if you have a problem with the vehicle you buy. And if it's after 7 days, good luck. Adam member dealers also let you search online. And unlike those national companies, you get to see the vehicle in person and test drive it before you buy it. You also have the assurance that the vehicle's been thoroughly tested, and if any issue does come up, your local Adam member dealer is right here to service it. And can also provide low financing and top dollar for your trade. Think about that before you take a chance with their so-called vending machine.
What? It's stuck. No! Oh, rats.
Start your search at adamm.com.
The crew is back on the road and off to Ohio to take on the Reds.
Here it is. Line to right center. Get up! Get out! Jackson Chourio just took one out of here.
Our coverage of the series starts tonight at 5:05 on your home of the Milwaukee Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
At 101, it's currently 64 degrees. Just hit our high at this point. Gorgeous and sunny out tonight. There's a chance of showers with a low of 47 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Julia Fellow. President Joe Biden is landed in Madison to unveil his new plan for student loan relief. WTMJ's Julian Johnson is at the event right now.
There are some crowds outside. There's some protesters, Palestinian protesters out there regarding the war. And then on the inside, there's about I'd say 200-ish, 200 to 300-ish people on the inside. That's including media and people that are already just in the general area and just waiting, people taking pictures. People are excited a little bit, just excited to see what happens moving forward.
It has been nearly a year since the U.S. Supreme Court knocked down his administration's first attempt to cancel college debt for millions. The White House says the new debt program is relying on the Higher Education Act, and it will target new categories of borrowers. And now the eclipse is nearing. The closest to the path of totality from where we are in Wisconsin would be Evansville, Indiana, and Carbondale, Illinois. The maximum totality in both of those locations will hit just after 2 o'clock. And with the eclipse approaching, pilots are being told to carry extra fuel. Alex Stone explains why.
With so many planes in the air for special eclipse viewing, the FAA is telling pilots to carry extra fuel because it could be rerouted and put into holding patterns because of all the planes in the air to see the eclipse. The FAA is warning pilots airborne maneuvers and loitering in the eclipse zone to view it may be denied by air traffic control.
Time for news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is up 17 at 38,921, NASDAQ up 4 at 16,252, and S&P 500 is even at 5,206. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite, financial planning at every level. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 103.
This report is sponsored by Floor Coverings International. Visit floorcoveringsinternational.com.
Hey, John Mercure here for Floor Coverings International. They just did the flooring in our house, and it is stunning. Carpet, luxury vinyl plank, in and out quickly. They rolled up with that mobile flooring showroom. Incredible. Came in, walked us through everything. The installation was quick and easy, and it is absolutely gorgeous. FCI, the stars of flooring. Each Floor Covering International business is independently owned and operated. They are the real deal. Go to FCIfloors.com for a free consultation. They'll transform your home. FCIfloors.com.
We know how difficult the decision can be to downsize and move from your longtime home. This is Senior Real Estate Specialist Bruce Nemovitz of Bruce's team. We're here to guide you through every step of the way, from downsizing and selling your home to moving to your new lifestyle. With over 35 years of experience, we've helped thousands of folks just like you. Visit brucesteam.com or call 262-242-6177.
The sooner you address your joint pain, the better. You really don't want your pain to become chronic, to a point when surgery may become your only option. Address your joint pain issues early and calm down that inflammation and increase your mobility. Get the joints moving again and the blood circulating. That could be very beneficial. Plus, why not just feel better sooner? By coming to Rejuvenex, at the very least we can alleviate your pain, so you can feel and move better to help you live a better quality of life. Don't you deserve at least that? Multi-joint treatments at Rejuvenex can cost as little as, well, nothing. That's because we are in network with almost all major insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicaid. So you really have nothing to lose, except a very good chance of living with a lot less pain. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics, where we can alleviate your pain and rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Brew Crew begin a 4-game series against the Reds tonight in Cincinnati. Coverage begins at 5:05 on WTMJ. Our Bucks carry a 4-game losing streak into tomorrow's game against the Eastern Conference, leading Celtics. And South Carolina competes in an undefeated season, winning women's NCAA championship in college basketball. Men crown a champion tonight as UConn faces Purdue in Arizona. Coverage of local college basketball is presented by Outdoor Living Unlimited. Taking a look at the roads right now, we're looking at I-43 north at Kilbourne Avenue. The right shoulder is blocked due to a disabled vehicle. We also have one more problem. The Mitchell to the Hale 5.9 mile stretch of just red. It's going to be a big delay right there right now. We're trying to figure out exactly what's causing that.
Traffic is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management. It's time to know the difference, and Annex Wealth Management is ready to help with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary partner. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. We hit our high at 64. Gorgeous sunny right now. Tonight, slight chance of showers with a low of 47. Tomorrow, showers early. The high will be 60. Wednesday, partly cloudy. High of 57 at the lake, 64 inland. Thursday, rain is likely. High of 51. And Friday, it's going to be windy and partly cloudy. Sighting Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 107.
65,498 square miles. We've got a lot to cover, so let's get to it. This is Spanning the State, and here are your hosts, Kristen Bry and Brian Noonan.
It's here. It is Eclipse Day, and we have plenty of coverage of it coming up in hour 2.
Yes, this is very exciting. It is. You don't seem. You seem nonplussed by Eclipse Day. I am. You are the Vince Vitrano of Spanning the State, while I am the Eric Bilstad of Spanning
That's
the
probably
State.
fair. I think. Because I've just assumed that we're going to get probably as much as I got to see in 2017. I was living in New York at the time, and certainly not in the path of totality.
Well, but last time it went from northwest to southeast, so you are going to see more today than you did in New York.
So I'm excited about it. I'm excited that we're going to move as quickly as we can to get from our studio in the 3rd Street Market Hall, take the elevators up to the top of the parking garage, and then come live at the top of the 2 o'clock hour, back on the show, explain what we're seeing. Maybe I'll cry. Who knows?
You might. Listen, there's a lot of seasoned journalists that cried at the last one in 2017. It is.
Maybe
it's
Vince
amazing.
will cry. That's actually will be the story of the day. And Vince, after all of his curmudgeon-y complaining about going to Indiana, actually is the one who's totally moved to tears.
Well, I just saw on Twitter, currently known as X, Eric Bilstad posted a picture of the traffic on I-65 going. It's pretty solid. There's not much moving. Yeah. So hopefully they find somewhere to pull over. It also looks rainy.
Oh, man.
That's not good. But here in Milwaukee, it's going to be nice.
It looks beautiful today.
Yeah.
So we are going to go, like I said, Brian and I are going to go to the parking garage, explain what we're seeing live at 2:08:13, which is when it's supposed to be total coverage, as much coverage as we're going to get in Milwaukee. And then at 2:30, we're going to check in with Eric and Vince on what their experience was. It'll either be moving or hilarious, I imagine.
It is. Somebody texted the other day that they remind them of The Odd Couple, and I would love to have been sitting in the back seat of this ride, listening to the two of them lovingly go at it, because they were on opposite ends of the woo. Let's go see the eclipse spectrum.
Yes, that is certainly true. But we will find out. We'll be the first ones that get to talk to him post eclipse. But before that, don't call it a comeback. Despite being declared eradicated in the U.S. in 2000, as of late March, there's been 64 cases of measles that have been reported across 17 states, including some of our neighbors. Minnesota, Michigan, Illinois, and Missouri have all had cases. And we've already surpassed the total reported of cases of last year, which was 58.
Right. And it's getting to the point where the CDC is now issuing statements and urging people to get vaccinated. Used to be the MMR was just every kid got the MMR, measles, mumps, rubella vaccine. So we are going to, when we come back, talk to a pediatrician who isn't trying to spread panic, but a number of pediatricians in the state are saying, listen, we should be aware that this outbreak could be coming to Wisconsin sooner rather than later.
So we will have Dr. Sharon Rink when we return. This is Spanning the State.
Throughout history, some people have been born into greatness because of their name or family. Others gained greatness because of their actions. On Wisconsin's Morning News, we celebrate everyday heroes, the John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they woke up one morning they'd be saving a life. Everyday Heroes, Thursday at 6:40 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care.
Right now, the prices of diamonds are probably the lowest we'll see in our lifetime.
Diamond prices are low, low, low. Here's why.
It was hard to meet new people during COVID.
When a person meets their soulmate, they usually get engaged about 39 months later.
People started dating again only about 36 months ago.
Most of the people who got engaged during COVID
or immediately after COVID
were already in a relationship before the COVID lockdown began.
The Wall Street Journal even published a story about all of this.
Low sales of engagement rings created a worldwide oversupply of diamonds.
But now, engagement ring sales are beginning to pick up again.
By the end of next spring, this temporary oversupply will be gone.
And diamond prices will start climbing like crazy.
If you ever wanted to own a big diamond, this is the year to do it.
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
If you want to own a big diamond, the time is now.
I know you have a great dog, right? But you know there's room for improvement. At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we can help. Our attention-based training system uses modern technology to help you better communicate with your dog, even in high distraction. When you schedule a free consultation with us, you will have the opportunity to see our training in action and meet for yourself our happy dogs off leash and under control. Contact Sit Means Sit today at 262-361-3641 or find us on the web at sitmeansitwaukesha.com to schedule your free consultation so you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog.
Rhea just earned brownie points. Bump it back with Van Halen. Thank you, Rhea. It is Spanning the State. I'm Brian Noonan.
I'm Kristen Bry.
And if you have school-age children and you haven't gotten them their MMR vaccines, measles, mumps, and rubella, you may be thinking, what's the big deal? Well, a lot of cases of measles popping back up. Should people in Wisconsin be worried? Dr. Sharon Rink is a pediatrician with Theta Care Physicians in Darboy. She joins us now on WTMJ. Doctor, thanks for taking the time today.
No problem.
Okay, so we're seeing cases explode in all our neighboring states. Are you, as a physician, and should we, as citizens, be concerned that this outbreak could come to Wisconsin?
I think it can come to Wisconsin. If you look at the United States map, all of the states that surround Wisconsin have had those outbreaks, except for Iowa. So I would not be surprised if it made it up into Wisconsin. The last case of measles in Wisconsin was in October of 2023. So it'll pop up here and there, but we might get a bigger outbreak in the next couple months.
So, Doctor, why are we seeing a rise in measles? It was supposedly, we said it was eradicated in 2000, so 24 years ago. But what's causing each year kind of an uptick in cases?
Well, the world is much more mobile, so we're getting people from other countries who have not been immunized or could be actively infected coming here. And then we have a lot of citizens in the United States who have opted not to immunize their kids. So that is just a recipe for getting a lot of infected kids. I know that there were, I think you mentioned it, 45 cases since March 7th, and last year there was a total of 58 in the United States. You need a herd immunity, a high number of people already vaccinated to protect protect from an outbreak, and we are not hitting that number, so we're going to have a lot more outbreak cases.
Why do you think, as an expert, why are we not hitting that? What is holding people back, especially since the CDC just put out a health advisory telling people to get vaccinated? Is this a throwback to COVID? Why are people so hesitant to get a measles vaccine?
I think there's a couple reasons why. There is a lot of misinformation out there. People are still telling me that the MMR causes autism, and the man that actually made that highly flawed study actually lost his license to practice medicine in England due to his unethical and poor statistics in that study. Number two, we've had a lot of famous people in the United States question immunizations and question the safety of immunizations. And I think COVID also really shook people's faith in the medical system. So there's quite a few factors that have attributed to this low immunization rate.
So as far as the motivation to get vaccinated or to get your children vaccinated, remind people what measles is. Like, what are the symptoms and how dangerous it can be?
Well, I'm old enough to have seen a measles outbreak in Chicago when I was a medical student. And if you ever want to see a sick, miserable child, give them measles. I remember they would just sit in the hospital rooms and just cry because they were so miserable. Normally it starts with a bit of symptoms that can look like a cold. You can have a fever up to 104. You can have a cough, runny nose, and you have red, watery eyes. A couple days into that, if you look in a kid's mouth, you'll see some white spots on the inside of your cheeks. And then a rash will break out over the whole body. And the big important thing about measles that really defines it is that the rash starts on your head and spreads down to your feet. And the fever can also climb higher as the spots appear.
How does this spread? Is it spread by contact? Is it in the air? How are people getting the measles?
Yeah, it's spread by respiratory droplets. So when people are coughing and sneezing, it just enters a person's nose and mouth, and they get infected. And that's how most people get sick with any type of virus. It enters through your nose and mouth.
And so for people who are already vaccinated, is there a chance that you could get measles in a more mild case? Or if you're vaccinated, are you immune from getting it?
You are usually completely immune. I'm sure there's cases where people have broken out, but with a mild case of them, depending on how their immune system responds. But usually once you get the MMR vaccine, you're pretty much protected.
And we talk about that MMR vaccine, and we talk about the kids. For adults who might not be vaccinated, are measles more dangerous for them, about the same as they are for children?
Well, since I'm just a pediatrician, I'm not sure. But I bet people feel pretty miserable with it due to the fever and the body aches and things like that.
All right, so if your child does come down with the measles, other than taking them to their physician, what can you do at home? Because just the way you described how miserable they are made both Kristen and I
have a 6-month baby at home. So now every time there's a sick child or like a screaming, sad child, my heart breaks more than it used to.
Yeah, I wasn't married and didn't have kids when there was this outbreak, but it just struck me how incredibly miserable they are. Any viral infection, the treatment is pushing fluids and just making them as comfortable as possible with the fever. With any type of virus, including measles, you can have complications of ear infections and pneumonia. So if the fever is lasting longer than 3-4 days, you might want to start suspecting that you're having a complication of the measles. I think if you suspect your child has measles, it would be prudent for you to contact your healthcare provider so that they can make sure the office is prepared to avoid having other people exposed to that virus. If you're under a year of age, you don't have any protection yet because you have not received the MMR. So we need to protect all the vulnerable kids and people.
Dr. Ring, sorry. Yeah. As a physician, when you see a disease like the measles that was pretty much gone, we had fought hard to eradicate it, and it starts coming back, as just a human being, how frustrating is that for you?
Oh, it's very frustrating, again, because pediatricians see the worst complications of anything, and that's just really just etched in your mind, and you're just fearful that you're going to see another kid like that.
Doctor, is there other diseases that we thought were eradicated that are slowly starting to creep back as well? Like I'm thinking like polio or TB. Is there other things that we should be aware of that are popping up again?
There's sporadic outbreaks of polio here and there, but for the most part, since we are so lucky to have such great sewer systems and water treatment, it's usually not a problem. There are certain situations where unimmunized people could get polio from water if there is poliovirus noted in drinking water for someone's water treatment facility.
We've been talking to Dr. Sharon Rink, pediatrician with Theta Care Physicians in Darboy. Dr. Rink, thanks very much for joining us today.
Well, thank you.
News time 1:22. This is Spanning the State.
Hot dog, get your hot dogs here. Hot and fresh hot dogs.
Hot diggity dog, it's baseball season. Wisconsin's Afternoon News has partnered up with Vienna Beef to bring you Brewers Ticket Tuesday.
Tune in every Tuesday during the 3 o'clock hour for your chance to win a pair of tickets for an upcoming Tuesday home game for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Nothing says summer like a hot dog in baseball, and we've got both on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
On the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Steve and Ashley heard our radio ads over the years, and when it came time to buy their first home, clicked on the blue button. One of our senior loan consultants, Brad, sent them a credit-verified pre-approval the same day, and then upgraded to a rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval shortly thereafter. They made a couple offers without success, and then Brad told them about AccuNet's new property-specific pre-approval, where we might be able to include those magic words, no appraisal required. When they wrote their next offer, several $1,000s over asking to make sure someone else didn't end up sleeping in their dream home, their property-specific rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval included that most powerful phrase, no appraisal required, and the sellers picked Steve and Ashley's offer over several others. If you think all mortgage lenders and pre-approvals are the same, think again. Go with a local mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win and save money, too. Click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. When it comes to painting, don't do it yourself. Call the pros at your local neighborhood CertaPro painters. That's what we did. CertaPro came out, gave us choices, walked us through the process, and then when they were there, it was quick, it was easy. Our home is beautiful. Excellent workmanship all the way around. It's CertaPro painters. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated right here in Wisconsin. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro painters.
Suit up for the $800,000 Sports Car Series at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. April through May, score free play, cash, one of 4 new Toyota GR86s or a new Toyota Supra. Play with your club card to earn entries, 5 times the entries on drawing days, and when the Milwaukee Brewers play at home. Got what it takes? Slugger, only at Potawatomi. For more details, visit paysbig.com/sportscar. Must be 21 and a club member to play.
Gene Miller here. Springtime. Better start thinking about those home improvement projects. Now's the time to call my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. Update your home's curb appeal and build equity with energy-efficient replacement windows and doors from brands like Pella, Anderson, Marvin, and more. Hometown can also customize your project. They're your local source for wood, vinyl, or fiberglass windows and doors. Stop into their newly remodeled showroom in New Berlin to see the Hometown difference. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. HometownWindows.com.
Welcome back to Spanning the State. I am Kristen Bry.
I'm Brian Noonan. That was interesting and a little worrisome. I mean, the doctor didn't try to terrify people that measles are definitely coming to Wisconsin, but if you see the outbreaks in all the surrounding states and the fact that, somebody coming from Michigan could have it, not know it, come here to visit, and boom, there you go.
There you go. I mean, I'm clearly in the time frame of every time we go to the pediatrician, babies getting shots. And I will be fully honest, I'm more of a default to the doctor as far as what I don't know which ones.
You didn't spend all that time in medical school. Yeah, exactly. That's why they put in all that time.
And so she's up to date for whatever shots she needs. Mm-hmm. I don't know where she is in the cycle of what else she will continue to get, because I know that there are now a lot, like between
There are a lot.
Being born and I think until they're 5.
Yeah,
There's a lot
did you
of
get
shots.
the little booklet that keeps track of all the inoculations?
No.
Oh, it's well, they used to give
It's
it
probably
out.
now digital.
Yeah, it's all digital. Well, we used to get it and they'd stamp it. Like old. It was very old school.
I somewhere have my immunization card
Okay.
as an adult that pops up every once in a while when it's like all my old things that are kept in some
Yeah.
jar that I'm like, oh yeah, that thing.
And it's disheartening, and I can only imagine being a physician, like we asked Dr. Brink, how frustrating it is to go, we had this disease pretty much gone. And I know it's no good to try to reason with people who have made the decision not to vaccinate. There's nothing I'm going to say that's going to convince them. Nothing scientists or doctors are going to say that's going to convince them. I don't understand it. I never will understand it. And to see things like measles coming back and an outbreak of an outbreak of polio. That should never. We shouldn't be talking about that in 2024. Yeah, so it's a little disheartening, and I know having been at school, that was that kind of stuff is strictly enforced, and it's enforced here in Wisconsin. If you have to have all your vaccinations, at least the first round, done within 30 days of enrolling in school.
I'd imagine it's for public school.
Yes,
Do private schools can still have their own rules?
I don't think when it comes to public health. I went to Catholic schools and we had all our vaccinations.
Well, I'm sure it's up to the school, but that's why it'd be interesting to know if the private schools can make their own determination on what they require and what they don't, or if it's just if you fall under any school in Wisconsin, this is what the rules are.
Well, and here's the thing, and this is again just my opinion, but if you have those beliefs, that's fantastic. You're entitled to your beliefs, but your children or you are going to be out in the world unless you stay in a bunker. And I'm not saying that to try to be funny, but if you go to the grocery store, if you go to church with a big group, wherever you go, there are people who could be sick and give you one of these diseases that we thought we were through with.
Well, you said your brother had measles?
One of my brothers had measles. We were on a family trip, and I remember him getting really sick. And then you saw all the rash,
the bumps that she was talking
everything,
about,
and it was like, whoa. I don't know how the rest of us didn't get it.
Yeah.
But because we were in a hotel room, and I remember my mom or my dad taking my brother to like a doctor out of town, wherever we were. They found a pediatrician that would look at him, and yeah, it was a little scary.
How old were you?
I wasn't that old. He's 3 years younger than me. I was maybe 7 or 8. Yeah, so
left an impression, obviously.
All those kind of trauma does that, Kristen. It brands you and then it triggers you.
All right. Well, when we come back, did you watch the women's NC2A Final Four and championship over the weekend? I sure did. Brian, did you?
I did.
I have lots of. I'm going to be a little
thoughts?
emo. I have thoughts. I have some emotions.
All the feels?
We're going to talk about our Wisconsin connection to the NC2A tournament. We're going to talk about Wisconsin Women's Sports Bar. Join us when we come back. Saturday Unlimited News Time, 1:30. ABC News and local headlines are next.
This is a special report from ABC News, The Total Eclipse. I'm Daria Albinger. Put your glasses on, Texas. You're the first ones in America to see this once-in-a-generation event. ABC's Jim Ryan in Hillsborough.
They've come here from all over the world to share in the experience of watching the moon pass in front of the sun. Tiffany Lohman and her family loaded up their motorhome and drove 20 hours from Utah.
It's just family time that you can't get back, all the memories that you're making on the road.
The Lohmans were among 30,000 who reserved campsites in Texas state parks in the path of totality. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Hillsborough, Texas.
Kerrville, Austin, and Killeen, Texas are about to see it. Dallas getting a first glimpse as well. Fort Worth among the events to mark the eclipse. Hundreds of couples who are going to get married soon in Russellville, Arkansas. And if you're not in the path of totality, well, you may experience a partial eclipse, which is also pretty cool. This is ABC News.
From the WTMJ News Center, I'm Julia Fellow. People are losing their minds over the eclipse. The closest to the path of totality from where we are in Wisconsin would be Evansville, Indiana, and Carbondale, Illinois. The maximum totality there hits in both locations just after 2 o'clock. In other news, more human remains found in Milwaukee over this weekend. Milwaukee police say a human body part was found near 30th and Lisbon Friday night. Then, on Saturday, more human remains were discovered a few blocks away near 30th and Galena. Police have not released any further details. They say information will be shared in the future. These discoveries comes after a severed human leg showed up on the lakefront near Warnemart Park in Cudahy Tuesday. An arrest was made in connection to that case 2 days later. Police have not said whether or not the body parts discoveries are all related to each other. Volunteers are searching for missing 3-year-old Elijah Vu from Two Rivers, expanding their efforts to find the child, possibly in a salvage yard. Vu has been missing since February 20th. Time for news about your money and WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow right now is up 30 at 38,934. S&P 500 is up 5 at 5,209. And NASDAQ is up 21 at 16,270. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite, financial planning at every level. Details at annexwealth.com. All right, taking a look at your roads, Brown Deer to downtown, about a 5-minute delay because of the ongoing construction there, and also Mitchell to the Hale interchange, a 6-mile stretch of just red right now, but other than that, everything else is in the green. Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. We've hit our expected high right now of 64 degrees. Gorgeous, sunny. There's a slight chance of showers tonight with a low of 47. Tomorrow, more showers are likely early. The high will be 60. Wednesday, partly cloudy, increasing clouds. The high will be 57 at the lake, 64 inland. Thursday, rain is likely. The high will be 51. Friday, you're going to see some clouds and a lot of wind, we hear. The high will be 56. Setting Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 1:34.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No, we tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our clients' best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep, we have one transparent management fee structured, so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly, different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here. Do you have achy joints like a bad knee or maybe an elbow that barks at you? And you want to get help, but the idea of surgery or steroids makes you cringe. Well, there is another way. QC Kinetics. It's the future of medicine. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. We're talking natural biologics using your body's own power to repair and restore damaged tissue. QC Kinetics is under the leadership of National Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup. Dr. Scheinkup's a pioneer in this field. 20 years of clinical work, tons of research, and he wants to get you relief with a needle, not a knife. QC Kinetics. They've got 2 locations, one in Greenfield, another in Mequon. Call today to find out how they can help you. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-3474. Get your free consultation from QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
Welcome back to Spanning the State. I am Kristen Bry.
I'm Brian Noonan.
He's here.
I'm still used to you introducing everybody. I have to get used to introducing I'm Brian Noonan. How are you? Nice to see you.
Introduce you if you like.
No, that's fine.
He's Brian Noonan.
She's
Brian
Kristen
Noonan.
Bry. I'm here.
Did you watch the NC2A Women's Final Four and Championship game?
I did. Of course I did. All right. Caveat, I listened to the first half of yesterday's game on the radio, and then I went, because I was doing some work, and then I went down and watched the second half, where Iowa just, Boy, South Carolina just dominated them. There's no other way.
Well, when you have a 6'7" girl on your team,
that woman is...
I don't even know how you guard. I mean, and they did their best, but it's a big gap between her arm, the length of her arm, versus the next tallest girl.
They were, South Carolina, very, very athletic, very balanced on their attack. They had freshmen making huge contributions. I forget, one of the women was a transfer. She went into the transfer portal last year because she was like, I got to get to South Carolina, and there you go. And then they have those two really tall women, and they just and Iowa played good. They kept coming back. They started out really hot, and then Caitlin Clark, of course, sets a record for the first quarter points in the NCAA. And then, man, when South Carolina decided it was over, it was over.
It was over. But even the game prior to that on Friday night, I watched the UConn game, which had a lot of sauciness, and people were not necessarily happy with how that one ended.
That
because
was
of
a
screen
horrible call by the refs.
When you actually rewatch it, because I had the same instinct.
Isa Pruder filmed it.
She did move her feet. It's just she did move her feet, and so it was it was a moving screen.
It looked like a lean more than a foot shuffle.
You don't want it to come down to that.
No,
and I think that's what people were upset about.
Yeah.
But on that UConn team, I actually wasn't aware. Call me naive. I wasn't aware until that game that the Wisconsin connection, KK Arnold from Germantown. She was a freshman. She played 35 minutes, 14 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 steals. She had a great game, and they had gotten the D1 state championship in 2021. Germantown did, so very fun connection to the women's tournament. I felt like this when I watched the Iowa LSU game, which obviously was the first of now many record-breaking viewership for this tournament. And having a daughter, growing up playing sports, there was just this realization of she may not know a time when people didn't take women's sports seriously.
And that's great.
And we'll have to explain that to her, as far as the same way they had to explain to me, women couldn't get credit cards until 1974.
No mortgages for the ladies.
And I posted something about it, and I had a friend who I went to college with. A lot of my girlfriends from college played either D1 soccer or D1 volleyball, and some played professional soccer. And they were recently at the Bay FC Women's Pro game, which is the inaugural season's happening right now, and it was sold out.
Nice.
And she got very emotional because she's like, when I played professional soccer, no one came.
Yeah.
And now it's sold out at stadiums. And it's just really cool.
And it's as a girl dad and somebody who I remember when women's soccer took the turn and started to become more popular. And that was with the U.S. Olympic team, with Mia Hamm and all those women. That was when everybody started paying attention.
With the shirt off?
Yeah, Brandy Chastain ripping off her jersey and just watching those games and thinking, man, these games are more exciting than the men's games. And the women were being much more productive when it came to wins and losses, Olympic-wise and national team-wise, than the men were. So I remember that. And it's a nice moment. I remember my daughter getting really into watching soccer then, because it was like, oh, the girls are playing. I'm like, yep, girls are playing.
But the thing is, now everyone's watching.
Yes.
I mean, people who watch sports.
Right.
I would say the viewership, each game saw more and more. So the Final Four Friday night game averaged 14.2 million viewers on ESPN, which made it the most viewed women's basketball game on record and the largest audience for an ESPN basketball broadcast.
It's amazing.
Which is amazing. But this is also, if you remember back in August 2023, when Nebraska volleyball set a world record for women's sports attendance. They had 92,003 fans. They filled the Nebraska football stadium to watch a volleyball game. But also WNBA is breaking records. Women's Hockey League is selling out within minutes. And so there is a movement right now as far as watching women's sports. And over the weekend, there was a op-ed in Journal Sentinel arguing that Milwaukee needs a women's sports bar. And I agree.
That will just show women's sports.
That just shows women's sports.
I can't see an argument against it. I'm sure if I was a business student somewhere or had an MBA, I could probably come up with some business issues that might raise concern. But as far as going somewhere to watch a game, I think it'd be great. I know there's some around the country. I know there's one in Chicago that is packed for all the women's sports because they watch the Sky and the Red Stars. And, and then, of course, for these games, you mentioned one that was on the West Coast.
There's a lot. So
yeah.
So let's talk about this when we come back. I actually would love to hear from you. 855-616-1620. When did you watch the game? Either game, any of the games over the weekend. But also, would you patronize a women's sports bar?
And not mansplain, patronize. Just go go somewhere.
Go watch a game and frequent and order food and yes.
I heard Kristen say that she should patronize people.
855-616-1620 WTMJ talk and text line. We'll talk about a women's sports bar in Milwaukee when we come back.
What you got there? Dramamine.
Why?
Because we're promoting the Cane Table.
It's part of the Envy collection at Penny Mustard.
But that's for seasickness.
Look at the Cane Table. What do you see?
Style.
Charm.
Good old American craftsmanship that lasts for generations.
Okay, sure, but look closer. What do you see?
I see a beveled edge, conversion varnish, and a striking leg design.
I see a dining room table that's optionizable with as many leaves as you need to fit a family of 2 or 22.
When I look at the Cane Table, I see a world of possibilities.
Yeah, but look at the shape of the Cane Table.
It's boat-shaped.
Precisely.
You mean you get seasick just by looking at anything shaped like a boat?
Uh-oh, I'm feeling woozy.
Don't miss the boat. Come see the Cane Table and the Envy collection, starting at $18.38, paired with Encore side chairs for $5.50 each at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Boat-shaped versions of what people want.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
Your home's defense is crucial. Defensive failure is offensive to you. Siding Unlimited is your home's best defensive coach. Windows, roofing, decks, and of course, siding. Siding Unlimited is it. Windows? Siding Unlimited handles several great brands. They are one of only 5 Pella Platinum Premium installers in the whole country. The only one around here. Doors and decks, roofing, siding. Yes, 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 and yes. Nobody can beat Siding Unlimited. When you deal with Siding Unlimited, you'll get honest pricing, guaranteed. What is that? Well, no gimmicks, none of that BOGO, buy one now, get blah, 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 chin boogie. This is what it will cost you, period. Honest pricing. Bolster your home's defense with the best defensive team ever. SidingUnlimited.com.
Now there's a simple, easy, and effective way to clean your nose and protect your health. It's called Navage. Navage, available at Navage.com.
Diamonds Direct spring sale starts this weekend. Get 20% off rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, and more. It's the best store-wide sale of the season. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. That's right, 20% savings plus an extra $100 off. Also enjoy an expanded selection of the latest styles with designer appearances each weekend. Tons of engagement rings on sale, too. 20% off starts Friday and open this Sunday as well. Details at diamondsdirect.com.
Here's to sweet summer days together with friends and family in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment.
Hey, Mom, over here.
And to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder.
Wow.
Here's to supper club celebrations and dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
I've got a black magic woman, got me so blind I can't see.
Would you patronize a women's sports bar to watch women's sports? 855-616-1620, the WTMJ talk and text line. And we're bringing this up because women's sports has never been more watched than it is right now. And across the country, there are sports bars dedicated to airing women's sports popping up and doing very well. The first one was called Sports Bra in Portland. There's a bar of their own in Minneapolis. There's a place called Rough and Tumble in Seattle. You were telling me about one in
Whiskey
Chicago.
Girl in Chicago.
And so what makes it a women's sports bar? It's not that they are changing any. It's just a sports bar.
It's a sports bar.
Instead of having to ask, hey, can you put the women's game on? The default is women's games are on.
Yes,
And
so
that-
guys, you could still go in. You don't have to. Do I have to put on drag? No, just walk in, enjoy yourself.
It's not like it's like covered in pink and sparkles.
Yeah, it's not a Barbie bar.
Sports bar that has wings and burgers and the same thing as any other sports bar. It's just, if you can imagine, if you've ever been a Packers fan that's lived anywhere besides Wisconsin and having to ask the bartender, hey, can we put the Packers game on when you're in whatever place, or Bucks game or Brewers game, or having to bother the people
And
to get the
every
game
city
on.
has those kind of bars for expats from other cities, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's why you go to, if you live in other places, you go to the Packers bar to meet other Packers fans, to know that the game is going to be playing. And this would be the same thing if Milwaukee were to have a women's sports bar, as you know it's going to be a place that's going to show that game, and it's not going to get preempted by a different game or a men's game.
Do you think part of the hesitancy on some people is just kind of an outdated reference point? Because I see some of the texts, and a lot of it, and everybody's entitled to their opinion, but women aren't into sports like men are. That's not true anymore. It used to be, but even the NFL's audience, the female audience for the NFL has skyrocketed.
Mm-hmm.
Women are into sports because since Title IX and everything else, women have been allowed to participate in sports. And once you participate, you're a fan. So I think a lot of the hesitancy, or people going, it'd never work, comes from this mindset that, the little ladies don't want it. They want to be going to Avon parties.
But I think it is working. I think
it is working.
My question is, could it work in
Milwaukee
or Madison or one of the other Wisconsin? But like, we're so sports centric here, and we're so bar centric here, that's the argument in the Journal Sentinel op-ed was saying the same thing. Is like, this is a cross division that already works very well.
I wonder,
and is there room in the marketplace for just one bar that does it a little bit differently?
I think if you were in a city that has a women's pro soccer team and a women's pro basketball team, along with great college programs, then it should be a no-brainer, because you can then add in the tournament, you can add in Olympic sports, you can add all that in, but you need that base of fans that are really concentrated in the town and the suburbs, your metro area, to come in and go, yeah, we love watching the female soccer or the women's soccer games, and so we're going to come in. But if you're in the middle of markets that don't have those anchor, it's like a mall with anchor stores. If you don't have those anchor sports to draw people in, a lot of it's kind of sporadic. And some of the sports, women's sports and men's sports, are seasonal, and some are more popular than others. And so it can work. It's just the location has to be right.
So you think because we don't have a professional women's team in Milwaukee?
I'm just saying it might help.
Yeah.
Because if I'm into Chicago, for example, the Sky, they just won the the WNBA championship. Okay, then they've got the Red Stars, the soccer team. So now you've got two pro teams. Then you add in, like if you were here, you've got Madison, you've got Marquette, you've got college programs that have great women's athletics. So you add those on top of the pros. Then you do some out-of-market stuff when you have a tournament, when you're, the LPGA, which there's a lot of women who love to golf. So on
women's
a Sunday
tennis.
afternoon,
Think about how
women's
much people
tennis.
watch women's Coco golf. I mean, the ratings for that were huge.
So the college softball tournament is huge for women's
Really?
softball. Yes. Oh man, it's crazy.
See, I'm going to die on this hill. I'm going to try to convince my husband.
Open a
Because he's
sports bar?
opened some bars in Milwaukee before, and so I'm trying to convince him that even if you got a small spot, so the rent was smaller. I mean, I'm not going to say that it's going to be Mecca, which is like the place that's in the Fiserv Forum that has a 100-foot screen in it. But I think that there is room in Milwaukee for a corner sports bar that shows just women's sports. And I will die on this hill.
Call it dirt in the skirt.
All right, let us know what you think. 855-616-1620. Do you think there's room in Milwaukee for a women's sports bar that doesn't cater to women customers? It just plays women's sports. We will take your calls or your texts when we come back. This is Spanning the State.
Hey, Sandy Max here to tell you about an awesome party at Three Pillars in Scenic Lake Country for the groundbreaking of their one-of-a-kind adult living community, The Fields at Three Pillars. Friday, April 12th from 1 to 3 p.m. Construction will soon begin on this incredible new community nestled along the Bark River with 110 residences and amenities like restaurants, spa, pub, dog park, pickleball, and more. It's already one of the most sought-after senior communities in the state and will be at Three Pillars live for the groundbreaking. Learn more at threepillars.org.
We find the best way to protect and uphold the reputation of our business is to hire good people and then take care of them. We really do love the people that work for us and we care about what's in their best interest. And what that means to you is this: who do you really want on your job? Someone who's maybe underpaid or doesn't feel appreciated, might not have paid vacations or great work benefits? Our folks have all of these things and more. Vito and I make sure they feel appreciated, because happy people do happy work. There's a culture we're building here at Semper Fi that brings respect back to a very hard job, and that's why we know that our crews are going to do the kind of work that you expect. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
The next time you're due for service, visit richlands.com to schedule an appointment at any of our 5 conveniently located facilities.
All AAA approved and all staffed by ASE certified technicians ready to serve you.
Richlands.
Outdoor living is great, but it's best when it's at your own home. Well, there's a company called Outdoor Living Unlimited that will build you a deck, a patio, pergola, fire pit, all manner of things to enhance outdoor living at your place, even an outdoor kitchen. Get started right away. Contact Outdoor Living Unlimited now. Get your yard project onto Outdoor Living Unlimited's calendar while there's still openings. OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. The hotel is ideally located in the heart of the theater district in downtown Milwaukee. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site galleries, and nightly live music, you'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Book special hotel packages with room rates starting as low as $129 a night. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
It is spanning the state. I'm Brian Noonan.
I'm Kristen Bry.
Are you getting excited? We're seeing totality all over. It's in totality has hit Arkansas. It's almost here.
We have all of our 4 news screens up, and it's impressive to me that our cameras can now capture it as well as it does.
Yeah, it's very amazing. It's also amazing to hear that Felix and Oscar, a.k.a. Vince and Eric, let's just say they're having a bit of trouble, but we will be checking in with them after 2:30 to see if they made it, if they saw totality, or if they just pulled over to a Stuckey's to get a pecan log. I'm not sure what will happen.
Can't wait to hear from Vince.
Yes,
but we, as soon as we hit to news at the top of the hour, we are going to be running upstairs as quickly as we can because we are going to come live at 2:08 and 13 seconds. We will be back on air, but Brian and I will be at the top of the parking garage and trying to explain what we're seeing.
So don't feel bad if you can't get out, if you're at work or school and you can't get out to see it. We will we'll try our best to paint a picture. I've already put some money down on how many tears you will shed. The line is
with Rhea?
Yes, the line is 6. I went with the over. So
speaking of the over-under.
Yes.
How many times do you think President Biden or someone from the Biden administration is going to come to Wisconsin in 2024?
Oh, Well, we know how many times he's been here so far.
So this is his third in 2024.
And we're in April.
And this is also, on top of that, Kamala Harris has been here twice.
Okay.
Janet Yellen has been here once.
Okay.
And I think the count from the whole administration right now, I think the count is 6, unless I'm forgetting something.
I'm going to say because we have another 6 months till the election, and we've done 6 in the 4. I'm going to say 18. There will be 18 visits.
That's
my line. 18 is the line.
18 from the entire administration between now and November.
Yes. And
I'm going to take the under.
You're going to take the under.
So we'll do 17 and a half. So you'll take over 17 and a half. I'll take under 17 and a half. I don't know what we're going to bet for.
Right. Well, I don't know. I'm sure there's some sort of liquid we could bet for that we would both imbibe in. But yeah, well, I only figured out we've got 6 months left. In the first 4 months, they've been here 6 times. So I threw on 12 because as we get closer, Wisconsin is going to be, dare I say, a hotbed. But
usually
so I think I know. So that's why I think they're going to really be pushing, especially with the RNC coming this summer. They're going to spend a little more time on the ground, open a few more headquarters, and move on. Ooh, we gotta go.
We gotta go. All right. When we come back after the news, we will be on the parking garage for the eclipse.
Oh.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after. An in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Good news, bad news. The good news, inflation today is nothing like it's been in the past few years. The bad news, lower inflation doesn't mean lower prices. In fact, one recent study says investors still consider inflation their single biggest threat. If you're concerned how inflation might affect your legacy, your financial freedom, or your confidence, meet with the team at Annex Wealth Management. We're fee-only fiduciaries. We'll build a plan together and guide you on the steps to take to reach the retirement you desire. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference. AnnexWealth.com.
Waiting on a tax return? Hopefully it ends up in your hands. Fraudulent tax returns due to identity theft increased by 30% in 2023. If you're in a bind this tax season, LifeLock can help. Our U.S.-based restoration specialists are experts dedicated to helping solve your identity theft issues. And all LifeLock plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package. So we'll reimburse you up to the limits of your plan if you lose money due to identity theft. Help protect your information this tax season with LifeLock. Save up to 25% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Sharks. Most people see them as a threat, but we see a potential cure. At UW Health Carbone Cancer Center, we're the only team in the world researching whether antibodies from sharks can be used to fight cancer. A discovery that would revolutionize the future of cancer care, turning possibilities into remarkable realities. So one day, instead of what if, we can ask what's next. UW Health Carbone Cancer Center. Remarkable.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code GIFT for an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. That's promo code GIFT.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
The crew is back on the road and off to Ohio to take on the Reds.
Here it is. Line to right center. Get up! Get up! Jackson Chourio just took one out of here.
Our coverage of the series starts tonight at 5:05 on your home of the Milwaukee Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
It is 2:01 and 65 degrees in Milwaukee. I'm Jessica Ty. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, we are now just minutes away from a spectacular show in Wisconsin. The peak of the solar eclipse happens here at 2:08 in Milwaukee, 2:09 in Green Bay, and 2:10 in Door County. At the peak, about 90% of the sun will be blocked by the moon. Tens of thousands of people on Earth are gathering to watch today's total eclipse. Astronauts up on the International Space Station are also preparing to capture the unique visuals. Their focus will largely be on taking photos along the path of totality.
Most of the science that our astronauts do in space is in microgravity, but we also take pictures of the Earth. And so they're all set up to take pictures of this mysterious moon shadow racing across the United States.
It's going to be cool. Well, it was a quick in and out for President Joe Biden in Madison today. The president traveled to Madison Area Technical College to announce his administration's new plans to cancel student loan debt. Last year, the U.S. Supreme Court stopped Biden's plan. This plan is smaller and would expand relief to new categories of borrowers. The president is now headed to the Dane County Regional Airport. He goes to Illinois next for a campaign event in Chicago. Meanwhile, it is crunch time for the planners of this summer's Republican National Convention in Milwaukee.
100 days and counting until the party holds its nominating convention in Milwaukee. Committee on Arrangements Chairwoman Anne Hathaway says there are plenty of things to do, but being worried about a recent New York Times article detailing some business owner concerns isn't one of them.
What we've done is tried to provide a huge variety of opportunities to make sure that every delegation, every allied group, all the media can see as much as Milwaukee as possible.
The Times spoke with several executives who said they were worried that the convention won't be the financial windfall they'd come to expect. At UW1 Panther Arena in downtown Milwaukee, Mike Spalding, WTMJ News.
Time now for news about your money. Here's the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything is in green, looking good. The Dow is up 32 points to 38,936. S&P 500 is up a little more than 5 points to 5,209. And the NASDAQ is up 23 points to 16,271. It's a great time for your retirement and investment strategy review from a fee-only fiduciary. Go to AnnexWealth.com and click the Get Started button today. Sports, traffic, and weather next. Sunny Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 2:04.
There are surgeons lining up to be the one to do your joint replacement. But my advice? Exhaust all your options and put off joint replacement as long as you can. Make it your very last resort, because life after joint replacement isn't always what it's cracked up to be. As high as 30% of patients who have undergone joint replacement surgery report unsatisfactory results. And the cost, even with insurance, can be extraordinary. At Rejuvenex, we'll help ease your pain and improve your mobility with FDA-approved pharmacological treatments that precisely target where your pain lives. And by easing your pain and inflammation, we'll help you live a better life. And because we're in network with most major insurance plans, your out-of-pocket expense could be very affordable. Or nothing at all. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics, where we can alleviate your pain and rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
The Mr. Fix-It Show this Saturday is sponsored by Aaron's. When purchasing lawn equipment from Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment, you're well taken care of after the sale. Olson's knowledgeable staff handles the warranty and parts, can answer all of your questions, and can handle all your tune-ups and repairs. Check out the impressive line of lawnmowers on display at Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment showroom in Muskego. Stop in and say hi to Fawn, the guest this Saturday on the Fix-It Show, sponsored by Aaron's. That's Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment in Muskego, sponsored by Aaron's.
Whether you're seeking endless sunshine, ancient landmarks, or scenic views, Fox World Travel can take you there. We are proud to partner with outstanding cruise companies, including Holland America, Princess Cruises, Celebrity, and Royal Caribbean, to bring you unbeatable rates for your next cruise. Unleash your inner adventurer and book your dream cruise by visiting foxworldtravel.com or calling us at 866-GO-FOX-GO. Enjoy the freedom of unpacking once and set sail for adventure.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. After taking 2 of 3 against the Mariners at home, the Brewers begin a 4-game series against the Reds in Cincinnati tonight. Coverage begins at 5:05 right here on WTMJ. Milwaukee is 6-2 on the season. South Carolina completes an undefeated season, winning the women's NCAA championship in college basketball. And the men will crown a champion tonight as UConn faces Purdue in Arizona. Coverage of college basketball is presented by Outdoor Living Unlimited. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. No crashes to let you know about. I-43 southbound Brown Deer Road to downtown. That's a 3-minute delay right now. 894 westbound Mitchell Interchange to the Hale Interchange. That's a 1-minute delay.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Mazda Milwaukee. Visit hallmazdamilwaukee.com.
Be our eyes on the road. Report accidents, slowdowns, and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen Traffic Tip Line at 414-238-9329.
Here's your Storm Team 4 5-day forecast tonight. Expect a slight chance of a shower, partly cloudy skies, a low of 47. Tomorrow, also a slight chance of a shower early in the day, partly cloudy, a high of 60. On Wednesday, we'll see a high of 57 by the lake, 64 inland. How about that? Thursday, it's going to be cloudy. Rain is likely, a high of 51. Friday, a high of 56, windy and partly cloudy. Saudi Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 5:07.
65,498 square miles. We've got a lot to cover, so let's get to it. This is Spanning the State, and here are your hosts, Kristen Bry and Brian Noonan.
Welcome back. We are live on top of the Avenue parking garage, staring at the sun with our glasses on. But we're not the only ones who had this idea, are we, Brian?
No, the elevator coming up from the 3rd Street Market was packed to capacity. There's a lot of people up here. It's almost like that scene out of Independence Day when they were all on the skyscraper roof welcoming the aliens. But everybody's up here watching the sun. Kristen, you had said the last time you saw it was in New York. Is it already more of eclipse than you saw before?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, even in the few minutes we've been up here, the sliver of sun that is visible behind the moon has gotten smaller and smaller.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, I would say walking outside, you can tell it's a little bit dimmer, but it's still a really clear day that doesn't feel, if you don't have your glasses on, you can't necessarily tell the difference. But as soon as you put these eclipse glasses on, you can really see the moon and just the slight sliver that's getting smaller and smaller.
And as a dad, I will say, don't look up, even though you can't tell that it's happening. It is happening, so don't look up without your protective glasses on. This is very cool. For not being able to get down to totality, this is as close as you're going to get. 90% is pretty good.
Yeah, this is pretty. Go ahead, Brian.
No, I was just saying, there were some birds chirping before. You're not hearing them as much. It's not going to get, the temperature isn't going to change here like it will in Indianapolis or anything. But I'm trying to find more adjectives than really cool. I'll try to come up with some.
But I will say if you ever, Papa Bring Me the Moon is a favorite child book I had that we've now read to Frankie, and it's exactly that, where the moon gets bigger and then it gets smaller, and the Papa goes and gets the moon when it's a tiny little sliver. Obviously, that's not accurate scientifically, but it kind of reminds me as far as it just being this itty bitty sliver that you almost feel like you could put in your pocket.
Yeah, and everything else around is black as you're looking through it. It is. I can't imagine. Think about it now. We have so much technology to tell us what this is. We've been following it for weeks. We've got every news organization talking with scientists. Imagine back a couple 100 years ago, 300 years ago, back prehistoric times, when all of a sudden in the middle of the day, the sun was gone. This gives rise to all the conspiracy theorists. This is the end of
which
time.
There have been a lot lately. It's one of the things we're going to talk about later in the hour.
Yes, we are. We're also going to talk, hopefully now our own Felix and Oscar, Vince and Eric, are getting to see some of it. We will find out afterwards. But it takes a long time, especially, here in Milwaukee, it's taken a long time to get to this point. So we are now at 211. So the peak has passed, and now it'll take another couple hours
for the moon to finish going in front of the sun. So as we stand out here for a couple more minutes, we'll start seeing more of the sun as the eclipse starts to wane a little bit.
All right, so we've hit the climax.
Have I won any money? Yeah, yes, we have. As people start leaving, but don't take your glasses off. All right, when we come back, we are going to hear a wonderful feature that Debbie Lozica did. But for now, we are on the roof of the parking structure, enjoying the breeze, enjoying the eclipse. Hopefully you got a chance to see it. It's spanning the state.
When we're out in your town, come say hi to us as we broadcast live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
Anytime you hear us when we're out on the road, you can find us live from our brand new mobile studio.
Whether it be Summerfest, EAA, Opening Day, Air and Water Show, wherever we may be,
you can see us on the radio, live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
WTMJ.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Steve and Ashley heard our radio ads over the years, and when it came time to buy their first home, clicked on the blue button. One of our senior loan consultants, Brad, sent them a credit-verified pre-approval the same day, and then upgraded to a rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval shortly thereafter. They made a couple offers without success, and then Brad told them about AccuNet's new property-specific pre-approval, where we might be able to include those magic words, no appraisal required. When they wrote their next offer, several $1,000s over asking to make sure someone else didn't end up sleeping in their dream home, their property-specific rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval included that most powerful phrase, no appraisal required, and the sellers picked Steve and Ashley's offer over several others. If you think all mortgage lenders and pre-approvals are the same, think again. Go with a local mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win and save money too. Click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Nagging pain lasting for months, difficulty performing everyday tasks, not moving like you'd like, it's time to see the doctor. And I recommend Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Anytime I've needed care, the appointments are timely, no waiting weeks to be seen, and no pressure to have surgery. It's about getting the right diagnosis and choosing a treatment plan that fits your life. No question where I turn if I'm injured again. The experts in care at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. It's orthowisconsin.com.
Well, here it is. It's time for the Great American Eclipse.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
All right, everyone just calm down. It's not like some freaky long-held prophecy is going to come true because of this eclipse. But what really is an eclipse? The director of UWM Planetarium, Dr. Gene Creighton.
A solar eclipse is the magic moment that the moon comes exactly between us and the sun.
Storytellers would tell of the curses and mystical prophecies that were supposed to happen, a typical trope for most of your medieval sci-fi fantasy stories. The thinkers would think and eventually learn to predict these events.
People for many thousands of years have realized that there are patterns for eclipses, and they occur every 18 years, 11 days, and 8 hours.
Well, most of society has long ago abandoned this mystical panic that comes with the temporary darkening of the skies during an eclipse. Now it's merely a novelty for the vast majority of folks, but there is actually more to it than watching a random shadow across the land. According to NASA, the blocking of most of the solar energy during an eclipse becomes really useful, and eclipses are literally the only times this type of research can be safely done from the surface of the Earth. And we need to know about this stuff to learn how to protect our over 9,000 satellites that we know of that are currently in orbit around Mother Earth. So what do we need to remember about finally seeing this phenomenon? First of all, it's not a total eclipse everywhere.
Not in Milwaukee, we should be clear on that. We get a 90% coverage, which is still better than what we had in 2017.
It should look like a big old bite is being taken out of the sun. But we need to be careful if we really want to observe this.
When the sun is its normal brightness, your eyes are trained to realize there's only like a fraction of a second and it gets painful, it's uncomfortable, the eye won't allow it. The reason why an eclipse is dangerous is because your eye can look at it. The problem is it shouldn't.
So what's a self-respecting science nerd to do?
So you can get glasses in advance, and you should. you want to get it from a reputable source.
Remember, these are special glasses.
Solar glasses are not sunglasses. The solar eclipse glasses block 99.9997% of the sunlight. Your sunglasses block 75% of sunlight. It's not the same.
But barring that, there are other safe ways to check this out.
The key is not to look at the sun. You can use a simple thing as a colander. You put it upside down and you see little eclipses happening on the sidewalk. The point is, you want to make sure that you don't look at the sun directly.
And also, for extra safe and successful ways of seeing this,
we decided that it's going to be a rain or shine situation. If the weather is nice, we will have telescopes with special solar filters and, of course, glasses and things outside. But we also will have an indoor setup where we're going to show live stream totality.
You can check out more places for live viewing events on WTMJ.com. So even if we're not worried about any local prophecies or breaking nasty curses, it might be worth it to try some of these events so you can catch this cool phenomenon now. After all, the next one to happen in the U.S. won't be until August 23rd, 2044. Debbie Loziga, WTMJ News.
Get inside the mind of Mark Tauscher.
I always enjoy having a podium. If you're giving a speech, they'll say, you want a podium? Who passes on a podium?
See the world from his perspective on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Have you ever been asked a question that when they ask it, you're like, that's kind of a dumb one?
Every day at 7:50.
Yeah, Wildy, pretty much. Jason Wildy, 9 to 12, pretty much every morning. Yeah.
Mark Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by your Wisconsin Chevy dealers. Hello Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and Kohler Services.
Wait now or wait a little longer. You may have just increased your lifetime income by tens of thousands of dollars. That's how Social Security can work for you. The longer you wait, the more money you may get. Deciding when to start taking your Social Security benefits is one of the most important retirement decisions you'll make. Our team at Drake & Associates can show you the options and help make the right decision for your situation. You spent decades paying in. Optimize what comes out. Drake & Associates can help you squeeze every penny out of your Social Security benefits. Claim your free retirement-ready toolkit that has guides on Social Security. To get our complimentary toolkit, call or text SS to 414-409-9982. That's calling or texting SS to 414-409-9982.
Investment advisory services provided by Drake & Associates, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Insurance products are offered through a separate company, Loft Financial Advisory Group, LLC, a Wisconsin insurance agency. Clients are under no obligation to purchase any recommended insurance products.
Hey, boaters!
Well, if you have an old boat, new boat, or in between, then Kendor Marine is a great place for you to shop. Because not only do we have all the parts and accessories you need for almost any kind of boat, we also have the expert advice that just about any boater is one day gonna need. I'm Dave Doro, and boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th and Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We got everything you need but the water.
KendorMarine.com. At Kendor Marine, we have everything you need but the water. For over 50 years, boaters have found that to be true. Because when they've needed that old part they thought they'd never find, guess what? They found it here, along with everything else you need to keep your boat out there on the water. This is Dave Doro, and boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th and Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We got everything you need but the water.
KendorMarine.com.
Outdoor living is great, but it's best when it's at your own home. Well, there's a company called Outdoor Living Unlimited that will build you a deck, a patio, pergola, fire pit, all manner of things to enhance outdoor living at your place, even an outdoor kitchen. Get started right away. Contact Outdoor Living Unlimited now. Get your yard project onto Outdoor Living Unlimited's calendar while there's still openings. OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Every now and then I get a little bit lonely and you're never coming around. Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit tired.
We have just joined the realm of every other radio show in America playing this as
by
a
playing
club.
this song.
Yeah.
I'm not mad about it. 'Cause this is my go-to karaoke song, or
Is
one
it
of
really?
one of three. This,
Wow.
Proud Mary. Yeah, it's mostly these two. You have to have the right partner to do this song in karaoke, though, who's really as committed as you are.
Yeah, this is not a song that you can gloss over.
Nope. not
See,
at
I
all.
do Great Balls of Fire or Burn in Love. Those are my two. Because I don't need anybody with that, and it doesn't matter if I do it poorly, which I do.
Welcome back to Spanning the State. I am Kristen Bryan. He is Brian Noonan, and we are back in the studio
Yes.
after getting to experience as much of the eclipse as we could in Milwaukee.
Yeah, we saw the peak eclipse here in Milwaukee, about 90%. The skies cooperated. It was beautiful outside. A lot of people up on the roof of the parking structure. What'd you think?
Well, I did not cry.
No,
So
I know.
we
You
can,
cost
we
me
can
$500.
report that fact that I did not shed any tears besides my eyes watering as far as the wind.
Right.
But it was very cool.
There's something about these natural phenomenon that do trigger some, even if I don't follow science every day. I'm not a NASA, I'm not on their website to do it. But something about that is striking. And the fact that it doesn't have, most of the time they happen over the water. We never see them.
Mm-hmm.
So to get to see one in totality and one at 90%, I'm
happy?
good. Yeah, 20 years.
You're
I can
feeling
still be-
less FOMO than you did at the beginning of the day?
Yes.
Good.
Yes, I wanted to see part of it. I'm glad we were able to share it. I hope if you weren't able to get out, me just going, it's so cool for 5 minutes wasn't too much.
We'd actually love to hear from you. If you just watched it and were able to experience it live, 855-616-1620. Give us a call, give us a text, let us know what your experience was like.
Yes, it's amazing how well even the upper 10% of the sun still illuminates us. That came in. Yes, because it didn't get dark up there. And
No,
I
if you
kept
didn't have the
wanting to
glasses
peek.
on, I know. I'm very proud of myself that I didn't, because it was the combination of trying to see where you were going, because when you have the eclipse
Yes.
glasses on, it blocks out. It is black, and you
Yeah.
might as well be wearing a blindfold. So kind of like looking below the glasses to see how light it still was outside, while also looking through the glasses to see how the coverage
Yes.
looked. And so I'm not seeing spots, so I think
That's good.
I managed to not look directly at the sun.
You're not as dopey as me, who after we got in and I took off my protective glasses, like, oh no, my eyes are blurry. What happened? Hey, idiot, you took your glasses off to put the protective glasses on. So I'm feeling good now. I can see. We saw it. It was nice. Somebody corrected me. I said it usually takes. It was going to take another hour. They said this is a quick one, just over an hour from start to totality, and then an hour down. So I wasn't wrong. It's going to be about another hour or so before we're back to where we can just go outside and stare at the sun.
So what do you think? You think you'll do another one?
No, I'm good. I've seen it.
You've seen it enough in your lifetime?
In 20 years, I don't know. If I'm somewhere where it's just coming overhead, I'll probably still have my manila envelope of eclipse glasses because I throw nothing away. And I'll, amble upstairs or wherever and I'll put some on and look at it. But I don't have to travel anymore. I've seen it. I've seen it twice.
You feel good?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm very happy.
Are there other celestial phenomena that you feel compelled to wake up at 3 a.m. to go see whenever they happen?
No, I've stayed awake for partial lunar eclipses, so I've seen that too, and that was exciting. Not quite as exciting as a solar eclipse. If Apollo 29, if they're going to do an Apollo mission and it was going to fly over my house, I might get up and peek outside. But
I could be bothered.
Yeah.
What about the Northern Lights?
That is a bucket list item.
That's a bucket list for me as well.
I cannot wait. I see pictures of it. I see friends' pictures who have gone and seen them. So that's a bucket list. That I would stay up all night for.
Yeah, or travel.
I'm
pay
definitely
to go
traveling.
see as
Yes.
far as travel and really put the work in to be able to experience it in the best way possible.
That would be something to see. Other than that, no, I can't think of any. What we've seen the moon block out the sun. We've seen the Earth block out the moon. I don't know. What else do I have to see? I think I've got the whole spectrum.
We just had someone from the 920 say, the eclipse was cool to see. The wind died down and the birds stopped chirping. It got a little darker, but not a lot.
Okay. I remember from 2017, that it got really still, the temperature dropped, and I didn't hear, in Southern Illinois, everything, no birds, no nothing.
Really?
Just us going, oh, man. That
See,
was
and
pretty
that's
much
not
it.
that is really cool. If that 10% makes that much of a difference from what we just experienced versus the way you describe what you guys saw in Southern Illinois 7 years ago.
Yeah.
I can see why it still gives you chills.
Imagine every outdoor light that's on a dusk till dawn going out at noon or going on at noon. That's how dark it is.
And how long did it last?
4 minutes, something like that. You know.
Well, now what will be crazy is if any of these conspiracy theories that have been...
Yes. This is what I love about America. We all have a right to spout off ridiculousness, and people give you a platform, or you create your own platform. One of the conspiracies is, of course, from the flat earthers. I don't know if you're a flat earther, don't at me, as the kids like to say. But back at the last solar eclipse, there were a lot of self-identified flat earthers who claimed that the eclipse's path and the moon's shadow size indicated that the planet is flat and not rotating. Now, scientists, as you can imagine, poo-pooed that and proved multiple ways that it was not flat.
One of the better tweets I've seen in the last couple of days is a guy who was like, my 8-year-old just pitched probably the best show that I would absolutely watch, which is in the style of The Amazing Race.
Yeah.
You watch flat earthers try to find the edge of the earth. I'd watch that show.
I would watch that show too. Because what if by some happenstance they found it and fell off? That would be a great final episode.
It would give them all of the Emmys.
Yes, they win it all.
If that's how the show ends.
And then they just stop the Emmys. It's never going to happen again. Also, big myth, Kristen, I don't know if you've heard that the eclipse is going to pass over 8 towns called Nineveh.
I have heard vaguely something about this.
Yeah, that's not true.
Okay.
People claim that because Nineveh is the name of a town that the biblical figure Jonah, who was a Hebrew prophet, he visited, and some double down to suggest that an eclipse happened during that biblical visit too. So some social media users are suggesting that this is, in fact, a sign from God. In reality, only 2 towns named Nineveh are going to be in the path of totality. One's in Ohio and one is in Indiana. So it's already passed, and we have not been smote by the Lord. It is not a big deal that the 2 paths from 17 and today crossed.
It's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal.
Okay.
Stop it. A TikTok influencer, which is an oxymoron, with over 10 million views, suggested that we should be suspicious that the path crosses over. It makes a big X over the U.S. It's never happened before in the United States, so that means troubles are brewing. We are going to be X'd out.
Sometimes I always wonder, is for people who come up with it, is it just purely, is it a vision that comes to them in their brain when it's not rooted in science whatsoever, and then to feel confident enough to go on a platform and act like you are, say it with your full chest and say, this is what's happening, and everyone who tells you otherwise is lying to you.
And then who believes that person?
Well, 10 million people apparently who watched the video.
All right.
But what I said this during Crosstalk with Wisconsin's Midday News, I'm excited for all of the zoologists and all of the people who are looking at what this does to animals, because there was Wisconsin researchers who were preparing for the bee-clips. And they were recruiting beekeepers who live and work along the path of totality to send BEDAR. So, devices basically that can monitor what's happening inside of the nests, and it's something to do with they're wagging their the waggle dance.
Okay.
As far as what's happening with the bees. So when we come back, we're going to be talking to Eric and Vince and see what they saw and if it was worth the drive. Stay with us. News is next.
This is a special report from ABC News, The Total Eclipse. I'm Daria Albinger. It's enough to move a reporter to tears.
And you can feel the energy. You can hear the crowd right now, because here we go. We are approaching totality right now. What an event to win. Oh, my gosh. Wow. That is absolutely spectacular, even with the thin clouds that we've been seeing here.
ABC's Gio Benitez getting emotional as he watched today's solar eclipse over the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. ABC's Matt Rivers was one of the first of our team to see it over Mazatlan, Mexico.
And there it is, complete totality here in, wow. I've never seen anything like this before. This is my first total eclipse. It is truly stunning.
Next time U.S. will experience one, 2044. This is ABC News.
Saudi Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 2:31. I'm Jessica Ty. Well, did you go outside? Did you witness the solar eclipse? We're now past peak here in Wisconsin. Peak happened in Milwaukee at 2:08, 2:09 in Green Bay, and 2:10 in Door County. During the peak, about 90% of the sun was blocked by the moon. While no longer a peak, you can still catch a bit of the eclipse until about 3:20 this afternoon. It was a quick visit for President Joe Biden in Wisconsin today. The president traveled to Madison Area Technical College to announce his administration's new plans to cancel student loan debt. Last year, the U.S. Supreme Court stopped his plan. This plan is smaller and would expand relief to new categories of borrowers. The president's next stop is a campaign event in Chicago. A student resource officer from the Kewaskum School District has been charged with sexual assault of a student and misconduct in public office. Kewaskum Police Chief Tom Bishop says the parents of an 18-year-old student reported their concerns to police last Friday. The SRO was arrested the very same day. Investigators say there is no reason to believe there are additional victims. Time now for news about your money. Here's a WTMJ Annex Wealth Management market update. Everything's still in the green. The Dow up 55 points to 38,959. S&P 500 is up 8 points to 5,212. And the NASDAQ is up almost 33 points to 16,281. It's a great time for your retirement and investment strategy review from a fee-only fiduciary. Go to annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button today. Let's check out your roads now with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. No serious crashes to let you know about. And the only delays, typical for this time of the day, are construction spots. I-43 southbound, Brown Deer Road to downtown. That's a 2-minute delay this afternoon. 894 westbound, the Mitchell Interchange to the Hale Interchange, just a 1-minute delay. And here's your Storm Team 4 5-day forecast. Tonight, expect a slight chance of a shower, partly cloudy conditions, a low of 47. Tomorrow, there's also a slight chance for a shower early in the day, partly cloudy skies, a high of 60. Wednesday, partly cloudy, increasing clouds in the evening, high of 57, lakeside 64 inland. Thursday, cloudy and rain is likely, a high of 51, a high of 56 on Friday. It's going to be windy and partly cloudy. Currently, it's 57 degrees in Johnson Creek, 65 in Pleasant Prairie, and 64 in Milwaukee. I'm Jessica Ty. Sunny Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 2:34.
Suit up for the $800,000 Sports Car Series at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. April through May, score free play, cash, one of 4 new Toyota GR86s, or a new Toyota Supra. Play with your club card to earn entries, 5 times the entries on drawing days, and when the Milwaukee Brewers play at home. Got what it takes? Slugger, only at Potawatomi. For more details, visit paysbig.com/sportscar. Must be 21 and a club member to play.
Good news, bad news. The good news, inflation today is nothing like it's been in the past few years. The bad news, lower inflation doesn't mean lower prices. In fact, one recent study says investors still consider inflation their single biggest threat. If you're concerned how inflation might affect your legacy, your financial freedom, or your confidence, meet with the team at Annex Wealth Management. We're fee-only fiduciaries. We'll build a plan together and guide you on the steps to take to reach the retirement you desire. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference. AnnexWealth.com.
Inflation is real, but not at the family-owned Mind Chef restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. This is new. Every Monday, when you buy 1 pizza, you get a second pizza free. Buy 5 pizzas, get 5 free. Buy 10, get 10 free pizzas. Coaches and teachers, bring your team or school club. Your players will love the pizza and that world-class game room. It's safe. It's super affordable. It's great team bonding. Bring in pizza today for your loyal employees and clients. They'll remember you, and a great way to start the week is your second pizza is always free. Don't cook and clean today. Mondays are tough enough. Enjoy the free pizza at the Mine Shaft. I love the pizza. Your kids and grandkids will love that huge game room. Order now, pick up your pizza shortly, or dine in. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and just off the interstate in Oshkosh. Buy 1 pizza today, get 1 free for an easy Monday. And desserts, Buy one, get one free. Just walk on in. MineshaftRestaurant.com. It's the amazing Mineshaft.
It is spanning the state. I'm Brian Noonan.
I'm Kristen Bry.
We're playing this music for a specific reason. As you know, the eclipse has passed over Milwaukee. It has passed through Indiana. And two of our compatriots, two of our brothers in sound, with dedication known to no one else here, got in a car early this morning and headed south. Vince Vitrano and Eric Bilstead. Where are you guys?
Are we at West Lafayette now?
Just north of there.
Northbound on 65, my friend.
So you've turned around. You're officially back en route to Wisconsin.
So the good news, Kristen, is we're beating the traffic.
Okay.
The bad news may have been that we didn't quite get far enough.
Oh, no.
I think we were like 99.8%. I mean, there was not even a sliver left, like a speck.
Just a speck.
Okay.
Okay. So,
But we did not get the full, like Corona thing going on. It got pretty dark and it got a little eerily quiet, but we didn't get the full.
Because were you guys just sitting in traffic for the last handful of miles?
So Waze was pretty amazing, actually. 65 was a mess. It was like bumper to bumper and stop, like full stop here and there. So at one point we went off on some country roads. We saw a lot of the countryside, but we started to really believe we were going to make it. There were pockets, Kristen, where you'd slow down to like nothing, but then we'd pick up and it's like, okay, we had hoped to get to, where did we want to get?
Lebanon.
Yeah, we wanted to get to Lebanon.
Okay.
When it became clear that we were going to fall at least one exit short, we're like, all right, well, let's get off here so that we're not driving during it.
Yeah, of course.
And we thought we were deep enough. I guess not quite.
well, if it got dark for you guys and it got eerily calm, then you got it. Vince, the big question that people have been asking us via the text line all day, has this changed? Because I think it was clear to everybody this was not a priority of yours to make this journey. Have you changed your mind?
Man, I didn't want to be right, but I really enjoyed my time with Eric. We're having a nice time here, but man, that was not worth the drive. Not for what I saw.
Really?
Wow.
Just 10 minutes short of what it needed to be. But I'm sorry, that was not that impressive. E, are you? Hang on, let me hand it over to you.
Yeah, Eric.
I would say that had we been 10 minutes sooner, 15 minutes sooner, where we could have gotten 5 or 6 miles further south, I think Vince's life would have changed. But unfortunately, it's not going to change.
He's only got to wait 20 years. You got to change his mind in 20 years then, Eric.
I know, you're going to do this all over again?
Right.
So not worth the drive.
Actually, I thought it was pretty cool.
I thought it was pretty cool from even what was here, but I also haven't been in the car for hours.
So, Eric,
but it got super dark. It got really dark, and there was a bunch of people with us, and they all were cheering it on. And what would have been really awesome is if we had just gotten the outcome of it. But you were watching it, and everyone's cheering and cheering as it's getting tinier and tinier, and then it started getting bigger again. And Vetrano lost his mind, but it was great. It was a good time.
Missed it by that much.
So did you get any fun content while you're in the car together, though? You been filming any new tricks or anything for the show?
Oh, we didn't talk to anybody else. We took one stop. We didn't even get gas. We ran into a place, went to the bathroom, ran out. Less than 3 minutes, legit. So I think that's the one thing I wish we could have done more is talk to other people and had some camaraderie.
Yeah.
But also so it wasn't a 23-hour drive back. We peeled out of there, man.
What is Waze saying now is how long it's going to take you to get back?
Did you look up our ETA theory?
I didn't, but I just plus 3.5.
So we still got, and then, great. We'll hit Chicago at just the right time.
Perfect. Yeah, Chicago rush hour is easy. You guys won't have any trouble. All right.
Not going to be a problem, I don't think.
Where is the next Wisconsin's Morning News road trip? This seems like the start of a beautiful tradition. You guys just chasing maybe tornadoes, maybe a hurricane chaser. What are you going to do next?
I'm going to pick it. It's going to be my choice.
It's going to be Vince's turn.
Well, I'm sorry that it didn't awe you.
Maybe we'll go to a ball game or something, Yeah. No, you know what, man? I could see where it would have. Like, in all honesty, I was a willing participant. I leaned into the bit here a little bit. I thought Eric's put out a pretty aggressive plan and had a good idea to try to do something special. That's not to say there was no value in this, but no, in terms of the event, you said 8 to 10 hours in the car to see that. Nah, but I acknowledge we were maybe just not quite close enough.
Not close enough. And you two were still talking to each other.
Yes, that's
so
good.
No love lost.
Will you be stopping?
There were some looks exchanged. I'll post the video as soon as.
See, that's what I wanted. I wanted
here,
the dash cam of you two and some Dumb and Dumber road trip moments.
Kristen, you're going to see the look right after where I'm looking at him like, so we missed it, right?
This is
so,
it?
Like,
this is what we
did
drove
not
here for?
get this, right?
We did it all for this.
It's exactly that.
So any pecan log stops on the way back? You're going to hit a Stuckey's? What's the plan?
So we really super want to make sure that we're staying ahead of the traffic, but I'm definitely hungry. I mean, we had, I think, a half a jar of peanuts and a whole bag of beef jerky. We saved the Bugles for the ride home because we thought there could be sadness, which there is. So.
Wow.
Are the Bugles catching your tears, Vince?
Right, I'll turn them upside down and
fill them with your tears.
Yes.
Oh. Well, travel safe, guys. Thank you for your report, Eric. You did a yeoman's job. You tried to flip Vince, and he just will not be flipped.
He said you did a good job.
Oh, thank you, Brian. Appreciate it.
All right, guys.
I still had fun. I know that Vetrano says it was no payout, but I loved it.
Excellent.
We'll see you tomorrow, guys. Drive safely. News time, 2:43. This is Spanning the State.
CertaPro Painters know how important your home is to you. I know how good a job they do because CertaPro Painters did our house. WTMJ's John Mercure here. It was professional, it was easy, it was quick, and it was efficient. And so affordable. It's CertaPro Painters. They get the job done right, even those hard-to-reach places they will knock out of the ballpark. Free estimates, reliable communication, professional painting, all at the right price. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters. Choose the team we went with, CertaPro Painters.
Diamonds Direct spring sale starts this weekend. Get 20% off rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, and more. It's the best store-wide sale of the season. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. That's right, 20% savings plus an extra $100 off. Also enjoy an expanded selection of the latest styles with designer appearances each weekend. Tons of engagement rings on sale, too. 20% off starts Friday and open this Sunday as well. Details at diamondsdirect.com.
Does your home need a new defensive coach? Have wind, cold, or water breached? I recommend Siding Unlimited. Wind and cold get through your windows? Siding Unlimited fixes that. Water challenging your roof? Siding Unlimited fixes that too. Is the siding letting the elements through or just looking offensive? Fixing that is Siding Unlimited's first and continuing specialty. When weather's offense beats your home's defense, contact Siding Unlimited. Their name says siding, but they are so much more. Whatever the breach, put Siding Unlimited in. Their good work is on display at their unique outside-in showroom. They're waiting for you. What are you waiting for? SidingUnlimited.com.
The Original Botanas Restaurant. Delectable entrees, 50 top-shelf tequilas, 20 different margarita flavors. Stop by for lunch or before or after the big game. The Original Botanas on 5th Street.
The sooner you address your joint pain, the better. You really don't want your pain to become chronic, to a point when surgery may become your only option. Address your joint pain issues early and calm down that inflammation and increase your mobility. Get the joints moving again and the blood circulating. That could be very beneficial. Plus, why not just feel better sooner? By coming to Rejuvenex, at the very least, we can alleviate your pain, so you can feel and move better to help you live a better quality of life. Don't you deserve at least that? Multi-joint treatments at Rejuvenex can cost as little as, well, nothing. That's because we are in-network with almost all major insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicaid. So you really have nothing to lose, except a very good chance of living with a lot less pain. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics, where we can alleviate your pain and rejuvenate your life.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. I say it's alright.
Well, as we wrap up this Eclipse Monday, we're getting some more feedback and reactions from teammates. We were just talking to Eric and Vince as they checked in.
Yes.
Saying exactly what we probably expected them to say. Vince, not impressed. Eric, very impressed.
And I am going to reiterate, it sounds like they were there. I know they wanted to get one exit further down into Lebanon, Indiana, which is just north of Indianapolis. But if it was dark and everything got calm, they were in the path. They were in totality.
So Vince just unimpressed.
Listen. Vince is a good man. He's knowledgeable. He's a professional. Little curmudgeonly at times. I'd say that if he was sitting here, I don't think he was. I think he would have had to have been struck down by God to be impressed by this. No matter what happened, Vince was going to go, Was it worth 10 hours and some beef jerky in a car with Eric, who could be gassy? I don't think it is.
Well, then our teammate Steve Scafidi just popped in, also said, meh.
Well, here I can understand you going, meh. If you saw it here, it was cool here. But if comparing it or thinking that it was going to get pitch black here and all that, that's, we all knew that wasn't going to happen. So I can see being unimpressed here if you want to be unimpressed.
But then my mother checked in.
Yes.
And she was up in Wisconsin Rapids. So obviously further north than we are. And she said she got quite emotional.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So I feel like this is also just a reflection of people's temperament.
Well, the good news is I had a bet on your mom, too. So I lost 500 on you, but I won 600 from your mom. So I'm up. And my wife texted. She was out on our deck looking up. All the dogs were all sequestered inside with all the blinds closed. And my wife was like, it was so cool. So
to each their own.
Yes. We're never going to do it.
Yeah.
But what I found interesting, now we talk about seeing it and watching it and putting on the glasses. What if you're visually impaired? Is there a way for you to enjoy the eclipse? Well, yes, because we go to our East Coast brainiacs at Harvard and professors at Harvard University. They can come up with all kinds of things. They developed something called light sound.
Light sound.
Light sound. It's a little box. And what they did was, according to an astronomer, they mapped the bright light of the sun to a flute sound. Then it goes to mid-range, which is a clarinet, and then during totality, it kind of goes down to a low clicking sound, and that clicking even slows more during totality. So they designed it a bit large. It's a little bit bigger than a cell phone. It converts light into audible tones in a process called sonification.
That's so interesting.
Isn't it?
Is it only made for the eclipse, or is this something that can be used for other like light and like a light show? Like
they developed it for this. I'm sure there's going to be other applications for it. They hundreds of them were developed for today, and we're at different eclipse viewing parties. So I saw this story and I was like, that is too cool. It's again science looking at a problem and figuring out how to fix it. And now, talk about, I was joking about having FOMO earlier. I would imagine if you were visually impaired and you really wanted to take part in this, you really had FOMO, but now science is making it so you don't have to.
I love the idea of using other sensory to what does light sound like?
Yeah.
And so the fact that they used a clarinet and a flute and drumming and just the different interpretations of the things that we see and trying to create an experience through other senses and how to recreate that. And I mean, obviously the eye Eye as in the beholder, excuse the pun. But that makes sense to me. Like in my brain, that those two things correlate: a flute and light.
Yes, it's bright, it's happy, it's upbeat, and you've heard jokes before about people going, "What does that music look like?" and trying to turn a piece of music into a video or into art, or matching it up like the Sorcerer's Apprentice. I hear certain music, I see hippos in tutus dancing around, but this is great, and so they hook it up to like little portable speakers, and as the box was sensing the amount of sunlight, that's how it went. So all those people who needed it were able to enjoy the eclipse as well.
Very cool. All right. Well, we are going to take a quick break. This is Spanning the State.
Be our eyes on the road. See something out there that I should know about?
I-94, eastbound. A semi just came to a screeching stop in the center lane. I think he's broken down right there.
Call me, Debbie Loziga, at the Hall Volkswagen Traffic Tip Line at 414-238-9329.
On southbound I-94, right around Drexel Avenue, there's a wreck in the left lane, and the left lane is blocked.
The drive affects you. Why not be part of it? Give me a call, 414-238-9329.